Hey guys, it's Bucky Helms here with BIGdeal Marketing. Just wanted to show y'all something that was really cool that I figured out last night. Well, I guess it would have been early this morning. I stayed up burning the midnight oil, of course, as I usually do. But what we're going to get into is actually how to build a free online marketplace, if that's what you want to call it, or an online store in order to sell whatever product that you're selling or whatever service that you're selling, where you need an online cart in order to do so, without having to pay for your website, without having to pay for your online cart, without having to pay for a merchant service or any of that. So we'll jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen here. First thing you need, obviously, is a place where you can have a website for free. Blogger is a Google-owned property that gives free usage of their server space, and they'll host a blog for you for free, and you don't have to spend any money with them. They'll host this blog for the lifetime of Blogger or Blogspot, whatever you want to call it. Which, obviously you don't own it, but no big deal. As long as you've got all this information saved, you can always forward it, save it, and put it on another website at some point in time in the future, if and when you're ready to bite the bullet and actually spend some money on a bigger site, and one that you can control and have more options and that sort of thing. So first thing you got to do, obviously, you have to have a Google account. That's what your blogger or your blog is set up with. So as long as you've got a Google account, you can just go to blogger.com and sign up for a free blog. And there's templates that you can grab. They're pretty simple. They're pretty basic. I've actually got one set up for my girlfriend, who's a hairstylist. She uses this one here, which is, there we go, it'll pop up. She's got a lot of photos that she does with her blog doing hairstyles, and this is obviously not it. This is the one that I did last night, but they'll pop up and have the picture that she's uploaded to her blog, and then when you click on that picture, it'll show you description, and then on mobile it actually shows the picture with the description. But these blogger sites are already mobile optimized, as you can see here. This is what it looks like on mobile. This is what it would look like on laptop or desktop. So you got your blogger account. All right. You'll also need a PayPal account, which obviously PayPal is free as well. And there are some small merchant services, and it's basically a way for you to send money to a friend, or send money to somebody that you need to send money to, regardless of what the case may be. And as long as you don't do that with an invoice through PayPal, then you're fine. They don't charge you anything. There's a very, very small fee in order to receive money from somebody else. Now, if you invoice it, then you run into having troubles with having to wait for X amount of days and all that good stuff. So you'll log into your PayPal account here, and I'll show you exactly where you can get the actual cart button that we use. I'll let that load. We'll jump back over to the blog. I'll show you some posts that I made last night for Printer Shop, which is one of the things that we offer here at BIGdeal Marketing. Basically, this is just a standard blog post that's set up here. We've got your title to the post, and that's what will actually show up in the URL. And then you've got another heading here. I throw in some pictures, of course, because they work well. Everybody wants to see a picture of what they're buying. But this right here, this add to cart button, is what we're actually grabbing from our PayPal account. and it is still trying to log in. Hopefully it'll log in pretty quick. But we can go and look at the blog, and this is what it looks like on desktop. And like I said, I threw this together pretty fast last night, but it's all functional. Everything's working. I'll go in and tweak it and work the bugs out and stuff like that as far as the way I want it to look and everything. But it's even got quantities and extra little text options you can put in here as well. So if somebody were to come through and find this through a Google search, then they'd be brought, directly to my blog, and they can click on, obviously this post, or they can click on, any of those items that I've got on that page, and go from there. If they want to purchase them, then it's like, for example, this is the banners right here that we offer, and I've got some custom sizes that are these are our standard sizes that we end up shipping a lot of, selling a lot of, so I've put those up here, and these are actually special rates that we're running right now. So they would choose the size that they wanted, then they can add a link to upload their artwork if we're not custom designing it, and then when they click the add to cart button, of course it'll take them to their checkout. And this is all from PayPal and completely free. So it even goes and shows you if you cancel it, then you can go back to shopping, which is it's pretty cool. It's not as big and not as functional as some of the online carts that you'll have to pay for, but this is exactly everything you need it to be. I'll try and log into this thing one more time. There we go. All right, so when you're inside here, and we'll go to seller preferences, and then right here it says PayPal buttons. All right, so you can create custom PayPal button, custom payment button for website. All right, so we'll click there and get started. All right, and then it's going to ask you what type of button you want. You can choose from, these several buttons here, depending on what you're doing with it, what you want it to say. This is going to be a shopping cart, obviously, because I'm actually selling a product from the site. So I'll leave that alone. You can put your item name in here. Let's do brochures. That'll be the next one that I throw up there. All right, right here where it says price, if you're going to have a drop-down list with multiple prices for different sizes or something like that, then you'd leave this blank. All right, and it tells you in the help and everything as well. So you'd leave that blank, and then here's where you add in your options. Like we saw earlier with here's the business cards. These are the 5 options that I've put in over here in these levels here. All right, and you can add more, that's fine. And then you'll click done there. You can add another text field. This text field is actually what this function is serving, and it's a way for a potential client to add their artwork. If they've already got their artwork and all they need for me to do is print it, then they'll add a link to their artwork, which I always suggest using Google Drive. It's very fast and very reliable, and it's just a matter of clicking share on your picture once it's in the drive, copying that link and throwing it right in here. So that customer can then use PayPal to pay for it. And best thing about it is PayPal is highly trusted and very reliable. And people don't mind using it to pay. Most people have PayPal already. They'll have their credit card linked to it, so it draws directly from their credit card or their bank account, which is great. So let's see if we can get some functionality out of this. That way y'all can see the coding. All right. So let's do done. Add link All right, done. So we've got a preview of what the customer is actually going to see over here. All right, shipping, we'll just say 0. I don't charge any shipping. It's already rolled into our costs. Tax rate, if you got a product and you're in Georgia, you're going to be going 7%. All right. These other two things, don't worry about those. Those are actually for business accounts. If you have a business account, then that's more availability that PayPal gives you, and more tracking and stuff like that. And you can add some more advanced features. But like I said, that's the business account that you do actually have to pay for. So I didn't name that drop-down menu. All right. Let's call it price options. Done. All right, so make sure all those fields are filled out or whatever, and it'll give you an error up here if they're not. So click create button, and this is what it will generate for you. This is actually the HTML code that you're going to need to use within your Blogger. All right, so you would select code, right click, and then we're going to go back over to our Blogger, and let's do a new post, and we'll just show you inside Blogger how you would upload this this code. So I'm not going to go through the whole building of this post right here. It takes a little bit longer than I want the video to be, and it's already a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I want to explain to y'all exactly how to do this. And of course, if you've got any questions, you can certainly give me a shout, comment on this link, and I'll definitely help you out. But as you see over here in the compose field, this is just going to be just regular text. All right, so the link for PayPal sharing. All right, and this is functionality here. This is stuff y'all can play with. That'll turn it into a header. Then you got subheading, all your normal text things here. You can change color, all that good stuff. Like I said, I'm not getting into all that. Insert image, if you want to put your image in there. But as of right now, in order to get that HTML code put into this blog to where it'll show up as that button, we've got to go over to the HTML. All right, so this is the HTML coding for what I just composed inside there, and anything else you throw in here, it'll look like just a bunch of weird coding, and don't mess with any of that stuff. Biggest mistake is you go in there and try and put it in the middle of something, and then all of a sudden your coding's messed up and you got to start over. So always know exactly where you want to put it, and mine I always put at the bottom of the page for my add to cart. That way it's below everything else. They've already read through all my information, and that seems to work for most applications, and it's the best way to do it here with Blogger because it's so simplified, and the user interface for Blogger, like you can see, is, it's just really simple. There's not a whole lot of bells and whistles. So this is going to throw it underneath and at the bottom of whatever else I've got on the page. All right, so we're going to click underneath, make sure our cursor is where we want it to be, and then paste that code. So as you can see here, that's a lot of code, it's a lot of numbers, it's a lot of letters. Nobody knows what any of that means. If you know code, you can go back in and kind of mess with this a little bit. I'd suggest go ahead and get everything generated on that PayPal code generator and just copy and paste. That's the easiest way to do it. All right, so if we want to see what this looks like without seeing the code, we can go back to compose, and there's our button. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's simple as it can be, and I'm not paying for PayPal. I'm not paying for Blogger. For those of you that know anything about search engine optimization or getting something on the first page of Google, if you know how powerful Google is, why would you not use a Google-owned property like Blogger for something like this? It connects to your G Plus or Google Plus. It connects to your Facebook if you want it to. You can connect it to any and every other Google outlet there is. You can have this going directly to any of your social media with a matter of hooking up an IFTTT, which is if this, then that is what that stands for. That's a little bit more advanced as far as the marketing and creating funnels and stuff like that. But this is simple. This is easy. Blogger is one of the more easier blog sites. It's free. PayPal's free. I created 3 posts last night, and now that I've messed with the code and I know exactly how to do all this, it's going to become easier and easier and quicker. So hope that helps you guys. If y'all need anything, give me a shout. Follow me on Facebook. Make sure you give me the likes and the comments and all that stuff. Share this video as well, because this is going to help a lot of people. This can help anybody that's wanting to sell something, anybody that's got arts and crafts that they want to turn into a business. This is a free way to do that and to get money coming in immediately, and to have an online presence and an online store that you can actually send people to in order to buy your stuff without you even having to know them. All right, this is going to allow anybody and everybody that sees this website across the world an option to buy from you. Okay, and it's free, totally free. All right, well, I am checking out. I'm done. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Anyways, y'all have a good night. It's been Bucky Helms with BIGdeal Marketing.